Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Christina and today's video is my acting journey. So it'll probably be split into two videos, so tune in next week for the second one, or second part. So let's get into the video. It all started back in September of 2012, so almost 7 years ago. My mom heard on the radio an audition for Actors, Models, and Talent for Christ. It's a training development center, and if you want to watch my video on that, go ahead and click the I card in the corner and I'll have a link to that video. So I auditioned for Actors, Models, and Talent for Christ September of 2012. My mom heard on the radio that they were holding auditions in Knoxville, Tennessee, which was close to where we were living at the time. I auditioned for them on a Saturday. What you do is I signed up online, I practiced and everything. I got there, they had me fill up a piece of paper and had me memorize. They had me memorize a small commercial, like 30 seconds I think. And I was to say that to the person doing the auditions, when it was my turn. And so once we got there, we went into a room, and that's where the auditions were being held, but we also got to learn a little bit about the company. So they told us about the company, what they do, and some of their success stories. So some of the people that have gone through the program and now are like people you see on TV and movies. So that is what I did on a Saturday. You go, you audition, you talk to the person doing the auditions, find out a little bit about yourself, what you want to do, what your goals are, all that stuff. And then you're done. Well, the next day, I got a call back to go through their training program. And I was shocked. I was happy. I was excited. Now, I got the call back on Sunday before church. I was getting ready for church, and I got the phone call. So I grab a notebook. I go to the living room. Well, I try to make it to the living room. Doesn't happen. I end up sitting on the front porch, and I'm like so excited. I'm writing down all this information. And so after church, we went back to the same hotel that they held the auditions at, and in a couple other conference rooms they had a little mini like launch type thing, where you learned about a little bit about modeling and acting. So you got to walk and be critiqued doing that. Then you also got to say a different commercial and kind of get critiqued on that. So you got feedback on your commercial. So after that was done, they also gave me a tote bag with a folder in it that had all kinds of information and the website to go to start the training. So we went home very happy, very excited, and that was my audition for AMTC. Now, like in a couple weeks, I think it was probably a couple weeks after that, we had a launch weekend, and a launch weekend is preparing you for Shine. And so during that launch weekend, you spend more time in acting and modeling. Also singing and dancing, I did not get called back for those, which is fine with me because I'm not the greatest singer and sometimes I have 2 left feet. And so with the launch weekend, you spend more time acting, but not just like monologue acting. You do monologues on camera and photography, and your slate. Like all this stuff you learn in the acting and the modeling classes during the launch weekend. And so that one is a Saturday and a Sunday. You just go where your hub is, and that's where you have all your photo shoot, your launch weekend, your training and all that. So by the launch weekend, you're supposed to have read the first 3 modules. I was so excited that I read every single module several times, like 1 through 7. But you're only your only homework before the launch weekend is to read the first 3. So after your launch weekend, you're supposed to read the next 3 So in preparation for your photo shoot, you need to read the next 3 modules. So 4, 5, and 6 will be all about how to pose and what you need to bring to your photo shoot. So at that point, I had already read it several times. I had read 1 through 7. So I had already been figuring out what I was going to bring to the photo shoot before launch weekend. But after launch weekend, I focused on trying to make sure that I had plain tees with no logos and the right jeans because they want them fitted. They don't want them loose and baggy. And which I already had a couple pairs, so it worked. So when photo shoot day rolled around, I was so excited. I had to be there at, I think, 11 o'clock. And so once you get there, it's like an industry standard photo shoot. You get there, you check in, and you wait. So once I got there, I checked in. They told me where to put my stuff. So I hung up all the clothes, I folded the clothes, whatever, and then I laid out my shoes. So all my clothes were all laid out and ready to go. And so then you wait for someone to come over and pick out what you should wear for your headshot, what color would look best on you, and also what you're going to wear for your modeling promo card. Now, you get a headshot, one headshot, and one promo look. And so you can buy another look if you want. I just went with the regular, which was fine because it's perfect. And so you get approved in what your outfit is for your headshot or your promo card, whichever one you're filming, whichever one you're doing first. You get approved for that, and then you go to hair. And once your hair is done, you go wait at the makeup station to get your makeup done. And then once you're done, you wait for the photographers to go through each person. And so, let's see. For my headshot, 2 people went. It was me and another girl because we held the reflector screen for each other. We also did that. There was 2 for the modeling look also. And so once the photo shoot is done and you're free to leave, you pack up all your stuff and leave. And that was a lot of fun. And then your homework, the last homework you have is to keep practicing. You're supposed to be doing this the entire time is practice. But you also need to read Module 7, which is all about Shine. And the Shine event is a convention type event where you get to perform in front of agents, managers, casting directors, all those people. Music people, dance people, all these people. And you also get to learn. You get to go to seminars from agents and managers and casting directors. With that, you go down to Florida, and you don't have to, but it's recommended you stay at the hotel that the convention is taking place. A beautiful hotel. And so once you're there, each day you have seminars. You may have a showcase, which could be runway, family runway, singing, dancing, monologue, photography, it's on camera, photography, improv, so many. And then there's also the vendors for like Model Mart and stuff where you can buy stuff like modeling portfolios and stuff like that. But it is so much fun. It's such a long day. But then once you're done, you could get a call back or you could not get a call back from an agent or a manager if they want to meet you or not. But there's this thing called flash interviews. And flash interviews are like 30 to 60 seconds. I think they're a minute long. Where you talk to, there's rows of tables all lined up in a ballroom area. And there's always a line to get, you want to line up before it starts because you want to get to who you want to talk to. So when you get in there, before this happens, you get your paper that says if you got a call back, who you got a call back from, so you know not to go see them because you're going to go talk to them when you get to the longer interviews. So you get a piece of paper, you make sure that you know if they called you back, who called you back, so you don't get in their line because they already want to meet you. These, with the flash interviews, they could give you a ticket that says, hey, I want you to come back to the next, I want to talk to you longer, but you know, with a flash interview, it's a short time. So you meet the people you want to, and then you just talk to them, they look at your pictures, and that's it. And then you can also put your headshot in all these boxes that are lined up. So you can put your headshot in there, and those get sent out when they get back to Atlanta. Those get sent out to everybody who was there. Once we were done with Shine, we went home. I auditioned in September of 2012. I went to Shine in July of 2013. And so when we got home, I started looking up like casting calls and all of that. Probably just more training, because I did go to Shine again. I decided I wanted to go back a second time, which I was allowed to do. And so I went back a second time. I went back in December/January of, because it started in 2014, but it ended in 2015. So it was Winter Shine 2015. And then whenever I went in 2013, it started in June and ended in July. And so when I got back, that's when they had their casting website up. And that's where I got my first casting. So that one you guys will see. I will talk more about my acting journey, what I did, next week.